Okay, cool. Coinstop, everyone.
Thanks for hanging around, fellas.
Sorry?
Thanks for hanging around. Welcome to the Old Altar. Thank you to Key and to Chris for presenting.
Whoever speaks needs this. We're going to be passing it back and forth, so I'll just stand next to him. We'll just stand next to each other.
Yeah, thanks to Key and to Chris for presenting the information about Monero, and we'll stand out of the way. My name's Chris, and this is Johnathan. We're part of Coinstop. We redistribute hardware wallets. If you've got any questions about that, you're more than welcome to come meet our team, and we've got some devices there that people can play around with. But today we're just going to be introducing a little bit of information about Stratis.
Yeah, we just want to make sure everyone knows we're not affiliated with them. We don't work for them. We just want to get people aware of an awesome project. Similar to the blockchains that were mentioned before, it's a platform, but we'll get into that. So hopefully everyone knows now what a blockchain is. I just want to make sure everyone's aware that it's a decentralized ledger or a distributed database. It's trustless, it's immutable, so it cannot be changed, and it's cryptographically secured.
How many people have heard of Stratis? Does anyone know Stratis? Oh, that's really cool. Interesting, cool.
So Stratis offers simple and affordable end-to-end solutions for development, testing and deployment of native C# blockchain applications on the .NET framework, which is its key value. This leads us to explain that Stratis is not an actual coin, it's not a currency, but you can represent it as a currency, but it's more of a platform. It allows developers to bridge the gap between the blockchain and the corporate world in an open source manner.
Cool, so just a little bit about the platform. I'll just touch on a couple of things. So basically the three major sort of parts of it are the enterprise. So blockchain is made easily for you, the token, which is what gives it the stored value, and the academy, which I think Jonathan's going to touch a little bit more on now.
So the enterprise is one of the key features of Stratis. It's the way that Stratis can offer businesses a cheap and affordable way to bring their company into a blockchain.
So the token, Strat, that's the coin, that's what fuels the power of that blockchain. So people can trade, people can earn value. That's essentially the coin, the currency behind Stratis, the platform.
And then the third key feature is the academy. So they offer basic mentoring, and you can eventually develop expertise into blockchain development and have a signature of approval to say you're now a blockchain developer in C# and .NET.
So, platform for business. So the whole idea, like Jonathan just mentioned, is the problem facing us at the moment is that we have business on one side of the field and we've got blockchain on the other. How do we connect those two? So the idea with Stratis is to be that business end-to-end solution, connecting business to blockchain and integrating, moving forward beyond just finance, industries like medical, logistics, you name it.
And they do this through the Stratis main chain, and you can look at these private chains. They're not like XMR as privacy. They're more so a business has control of this chain, and each business can speak to the Stratis main chain and then speak to another private chain. So this offers the cross-integration between companies if they both use Stratis. You have, for instance, logistics and a finance company. You can store your information of the SKU of a pallet into a token, and then when a contract is finalized and you need to make payment, you can then talk to an accounting chain or vice versa. It can go whatever you name it, and you've got the imagination you could potentially develop on the Stratis blockchain. Now there's over 8 million C# and .NET framework developers in the world. So Microsoft, Dell, they all have C# and .NET developers. What this means is it reduces the barrier that developers have when they have to learn Solidity. Ethereum is great, but this, again, is the efficient way of getting your development team that already knows C# and .NET straight into blockchain development.
Which brings us to a little bit of a comparison between some of the different projects that are offering similar things. So I'm sure a lot of people here have heard of Neo and Ethereum. Obviously Ethereum because it was mentioned a lot tonight. So you can see a couple of the differences and similarities between the projects. Circulating supply, position of market cap, what languages they use, like Johnathan said, C# with Neo and Stratis, and Solidity with Ethereum, whether they're mining, proof of stake, proof of work, all that sort of stuff.
And I just want to comment that all three of these are platforms, and there's a few differences, but they're very similar. But one thing that you can see is Neo's at 2.2 billion on the 15th of the 8th. Ethereum is at 28 billion. I'm not saying to invest, but to me, if they're offering similar projects, Stratis has a lot of room to move, and so do all of the projects, but you're investing at your own risk. So this all could be $100 one day. We don't know.
This is not financial advice, otherwise we probably wouldn't be talking. Some of the features of Stratis, proof of stake, which I mentioned earlier, which is a little bit different to proof of work, which we will touch on if you don't know the differences between that just yet. Masternodes and the Breeze wallet, which is in production at the moment.
So proof of work and proof of stake, it's mentioned quite a lot. There's other blockchains that use proof of importance. Endorse use proof of concept. The main thing with proof of work is it's used in Bitcoin, it's used in XMR, and it uses computer power to mine the blockchain. Where proof of stake is a new way of, and I think Tom mentioned it before, it's a way of holding wealth in the blockchain, and you secure the network by holding that wealth, and you get paid for it. So instead of having to fork the money out for a mining rig, you can actually put money straight into it, start staking, and start getting rewarded.
The other feature was the masternode, so economic incentive to node operators, secures different types of on-chain and off-chain transactions, and it secures the blockchain applications and services for corporate clients. We'll expand a bit on these.
So this is Stratis' first masternode application. It's the Breeze wallet, and most blockchains are after a private solution to be very similar to cash. And this is Stratis' way of doing it. So they created a masternode, and this is another way to get rewards on top of your stakes. If you run a masternode, people send transactions through your node, either Stratis or Bitcoin, and you're rewarded a certain fee, the transaction fee they pay. Now, the Tumbler node is the master node. And something I wanted to mention, though, this is quite expensive to run, not from a computer basis, but you need to hold quite a lot of Stratis and quite a lot of Bitcoin to be able to be eligible to run a master node. Where they're staking, you can jump in straight away. And also another key feature of this is Stratis is now created Bitcoin to be private. Maybe not as private as XMR because they've got quite a few levels of privacy, but you can tumble your Bitcoins now through the Stratis chain, and it won't be on the public chain. And we've also got a few masternodes in development. They're obviously future projects. They're still getting the Breeze wallet to work, and that's coming soon, but they're not going to release a buggy application. They want it perfect before they release it. Payment nodes are payment channels. You can think of it along the lines of if you want to send a transaction but you don't want to wait the 10-minute confirmation time, potentially you can develop a blockchain with Stratis to allow your Bitcoin to be going through a payment channel node and then be transferred instantly, or however the parameters of the blockchain are. If it's 25 seconds, if it's 2 minutes. You've also got sidechain nodes, and this is where I was speaking about how the companies can talk between each other. They can have special features. So you can speak from an accounting company to a logistics company to a fishery. And also the identity node. So this is the solution to reduce the technicality of having a 25 or 35 character address. We can now, by staving our identity on a node, I'm not too sure how this works. We're not too technical, but you'll be able to send your Stratis or BTC to my name, opposed to sending it to a long string of characters, or to my company.
And that just brings us to Stratis price chart since its inception. So Stratis has been around for just over a year now. I think it was August 26th, Stratis came to the market. As you can see, it did a whole lot of nothing for quite some time. And then as we've had this massive market boom over the last couple of months, it's taken a massive rise to $11 US. And it's done a bit of consolidating now to sort of $5 to $6 US. But I mean, I'm not a chart analysis expert, but that looks pretty good to me. Here's a cool little stat. People love this stuff. If you invested $1,000 in Stratis on August 26th, today it would be worth $400,000. So that's a 400 times increase. I didn't do that. Should have done that.
We don't know if that's going to actually happen again, but it's nice. It's some nice stats.
If you guys all go by Stratis, man. Just a few places that Stratis is traded and used. Bittrex, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, it's quite a large exchange. That does more than half of the volume of Stratis. Pavlesic, another large exchange, does about a third, and HitBTC and Cryptopia does the remainder, roughly 15%. And I have actually heard over the last sort of 24 to 48 hours that Stratis will be getting put onto the Binance exchange. So I think I'm not too familiar with what Binance does. I don't use it personally, but I think they do voting every now and then to see what people are interested to see get adopted to their exchange. And Stratis was sort of the next point that won that vote. So I don't know how long that'll take to happen, but I guess that's another good thing because somewhere else you can get Stratis.
This is a quote directly from Stratis. In today's digital world, hacking and theft are an increasing threat. So we've got to start thinking of the security of storing our assets. Andrea Santonopoulos says it perfectly. If you're going to put $100 worth of investments, you've got to put $100 worth of thought in securing it. If you put $1,000 worth into investing, you've got to think of $1,000 worth of security. If you think your $1,000 investment is going to be worth $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in the future, you should be securing it.
Well, that leads us nicely to security. So a couple of ways, some people raise their hand and they've got Stratis, so I don't know how you're holding in Stratis, but these are a few ways you can do it. Obviously one of the most secure ways is through a hardware wallet. Currently, from my understanding, the Legend OS and the Legend Blue are capable of holding Stratis. So they're an easy option and make it a bit nicer. Some of the other options which Johnathan can touch on.
Yeah. So the Stratis staking wallet, this is a little bit more technical than the Electrum wallet, and this is the wallet where you've got to sync with the blockchain, and then you can start locking up your Stratis to get rewards for securing the network. Then Electrum wallet, which is the desktop wallet as well, that's just for sending and receiving. You don't have to sync with the blockchain. And then the Breeze wallet, which we touched on before, for private transactions.
Cool. Thank you very much for listening to us ramble on about Stratis. If you do have any more questions, feel free to come find us and Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.